knowledge coming out of the ending situation there. So doing the thing.
I'm gonna be really, really real for just 1 second. Where's the consistency? Where's the consequences? I could have swore people were trying to make the FGC a better place. Was that lost in 2020? Why is it that in 2024 there's no repercussions for ruining other people's lives? That is a tweet from Chris G in regards to a Guilty Gear player called Umisho who was allowed to compete at East Coast Throwdown. Now you're probably wondering, well, what's the big deal? Well, for those of you that don't know, Umisho is a Guilty Gear player that accused another player of sexual assault. And we now know that those accusations are false. Now in my book, when you accuse somebody of sexual assault and you're lying, whatever repercussions were going to come by way of the person that you accused should come straight to you. So whether that's a banning, whether that's jail time, whatever it might be, whatever you lied about and they were going to have inflicted on them should be inflicted on you. A lot of people go through sexual assault. A lot of people get raped, right? And they're very, very serious things. They're not things that should be taken lightly. And it's idiots like Umisho who muddy the waters, who just say things very flagrantly, who make it really difficult for people that are actual victims to come forward and be listened to by people. See, when people hear of allegations now, they tread very carefully, as they should, but one of the main reasons is because so many people lie, so many people blow things out of proportion, so many people add things to stories, they say one thing here, they say one thing over there. Anyway, loads of players in the FGC have been banned, right? You've got Chris G, you've got Filipino Champ, you've got Infiltration, and that's just to name a few. Now, whether you think they should be banned or not is really besides the point here. The point is about consistency. Why was Umisho allowed to step on that stage and compete in Guilty Gear at East Coast Throwdown? Is it because the people at East Coast Throwdown are incompetent? No. I'm just going to say it because I know a lot of people are pussyfooting around it. I think that Umisho was allowed to compete because of their identity. I think their identity protected them, and that is why they are on that stage. Now, on YouTube, you've got to be very careful how you play the pronoun game. And so I'm going to just refer to Umisho as Umisho. And this is not a jab at trans people because, you know, I've got trans people in my Discord, I'm friends with trans people, and I saw trans people on Twitter saying we don't stand with this individual. So this has nothing to do with trans people in general. But I do think Umisho's identity plays into this, especially in the Guilty Gear scene. I don't think you can see it any other way. I know some people were saying top player privilege, but if that was the case, where's Infiltration? Now, Umisho stuck the phone up and the phone said Troll Gang on it. And Troll Gang retweeted that. And so obviously everybody got angry at Troll Gang. They were like, why are you retweeting this scumbag? This person tried to ruin another individual's life, right? Made allegations against another individual that we now know is false. They tried to ruin their life. And Troll Gang retweeted that. So obviously people went after them, so Troll Gang put out a tweet saying, our PR department has been overwhelmed with requests to ban Guilty Gear Strive player Umisho. Umisho is not currently nor ever has been a player for Troll Gang Esports, they just have a sticker. We also do not have the power to force tournament organisers to ban players. We were unaware of recent events surrounding Umisho and will not get involved with them. This is not a matter that involves us, and in my personal opinion, anyone but the parties involved and tournament leads. Also, to clarify, we were not present in the Bay of Pigs invasion of Cuba. That is a lie. I don't know what the hell that is about. What strikes me as funny with this tweet is that they said that, oh, you know, we don't condone this, Umisho is not with us, this, that, and the other, and yet the tweet is still up. The tweet looks like an endorsement. Now, I know why the tweet is up. The tweet is up because it has 1 million views on it. Probably more by the time I'm posting this video. And so it's about engagement. It's not about doing the right thing. It's not about having a bit of integrity. It's because the tweet has 1 million views on it. This individual accused somebody else. It comes out being false. People tell you, hey, this is false. It looks like you're endorsing them. You might want to take it down. You refuse to take it down. We know why you're not taking it down. Now, again, I don't believe this is top player privilege because we've seen top players be completely removed and taken out from the scene and nobody wants to hear from them again. I don't believe top player privilege protects you in this instance. I believe that in the Guilty Gear scene, when it comes to people in the LGBT sphere, within Guilty Gear at least, there seems to be a lot of them. So it would stand to reason that this person was being protected because of that. Because what other reason would there be? These are serious allegations against another player that can ruin your life. And yet, they're sitting on stage there. Explain that one to me. I don't understand. And I don't want anyone coming to me saying, oh, it's because they're in the LGBT community. Oh, it's because they're trans. Because if you look through my channel, whether you are white, black, female, male, trans, I don't really care. it doesn't bother me. I mean, I recently did a video on black girl gamers, and in case you hadn't realized, I'm half black. Now, if they were called Greek girl gamers or whatever else, it would be the same thing. It would not change. Okay, now I'm half Greek, half black. If it's a gay person, if it's a black person, if they are Indian, I don't really care how you identify. But I can tell you that there are specific groups within the gaming scene that will protect their own. That doesn't account for all of those people, obviously not, because I'm black. So it doesn't count for me when I talk about black girl gamers, for example, doing things that would benefit that particular sphere, even if it's wrong. Now, I'm not saying they've done that. I'm saying that I don't have a problem calling out whoever it might be. It's not because you're trans, it's not because you're gay, so don't try to lean on that bullshit. This is just a bad individual that has done bad things, and in that particular scene, I believe that is what's protecting them. Now, there might come a time in the future, I don't know, let's just throw something out there, that Street Fighter gets absolutely taken over by black people. Now, let's say there's a black person in that scene that does something heinous, and they're being protected on the basis of their identity, and then anyone that challenges them, people come out and say, oh, you know, this is a racist thing, of course, because it's a black person. No, I don't give a shit. If you're doing bad things, it does not matter where you sit. It doesn't matter where you sit on whatever spectrum you want to talk about. That is all irrelevant, okay? So before anybody starts any of that nonsense, because you guys know full well, I'll reply to you in the comment section. I'll even invite you on a live stream to make your points. Please. None of that nonsense, okay? This is a bad person potentially being protected by other bad people. Potentially. I don't know. But as far as I go, if you're accusing somebody of doing something that can ruin their lives and you come out as a liar, I sure as shit ain't gonna protect you. So it does call into question why these people have Umisho on the stage in the first place. What is the agenda there? What is the reasoning? I don't understand it. It's quite infuriating, really, because of the holier than thou nature that is put forward in the FGC. Like, we're always trying to do better or weed out the bad people. This is public enemy number one. Why are they competing in a guilty tournament? It doesn't make any sense. And to me, it almost looks like Umisho is mocking people, basically saying, I'm untouchable. I can say and do whatever I want. I can put up this troll gang sticker. It can mean several things, but we all know what the insinuation is here. You guys can't touch me. Explain to me why everyone was so quick to get Tempest out of the scene. And I do agree, Tempest probably did make the right call to step away, but a lot of people were pushing for him to just back out of the scene, and he did that. But Umisho can just sit on the stage and pretend that everything's okay, act like they're untouchable. It is baffling to me that in this scene where everybody's always talking about inclusivity and doing the right thing and making this a better place, that you would have somebody on stage at a massive tournament like East Coast Throwdown who has accused somebody, made accusations against somebody that can ruin their life. The likelihood is that a lot of people will still stand against the individual that they made the accusations against, who we now know have been cleared, and you allow them to compete, you allow them to make money in the scene. I do believe top player privilege exists. In this instance, I don't think that's what's protecting Umisho. Now, I'm not afraid to say what's on my mind. I'm not beholden to anybody. I don't really care how people feel about it. That's what I think. Just looking at the situation and looking at the particular scene that's involved, that's not a slight at any of the other people in that community, because as I said, I've been on Twitter and I've seen them saying, we don't stand with this, we don't fuck with this, get Umisho out of there. But the people at the top, the people that allowed this to happen, they should be called into question. And Umisho was brazen enough to flash that stupid sticker at the camera as if people weren't going to get annoyed. If you ask me, if you're not going to be consistent about this, if you're not going to uphold these holier than thou values that you have, let Infiltration come back, let Chris G come back, let Filipino Champ come back, let anybody that you've banned come back, because in my book, assault allegations of that kind, as we know, do serious harm to someone's reputation, not just in the fighting game scene, but if employers hear about that stuff, it could ruin them. So I don't understand how this has been allowed to happen, and I completely understand why people are so angry about it online. It's a double standard. I'll say it how I see it, and that is exactly how I see it. There is a privilege that comes with being of that particular identity in that scene. Now again, this is not an excuse to go and attack trans people. I just want to make that perfectly clear to everybody, okay? People are people, people do bad things. But I can tell you guys right now, as somebody that is mixed race, even though I don't move in those particular circles, I know groups in the gaming world where I could do things, and because of how I look and because of how I talk and because of how I present, they will protect me. I'm not going to name any names, and you guys should know that I don't move with people like that. But it does happen. I know I've just taken a look. The Troll Gang Esports have still not taken down the tweet that says, "We see you, Umisho," the person that made false allegations against somebody, which has now 2 million views. You're doing this for engagement. I've taken a screenshot of it just in case they take it down by the time I put this video out. Umisho is a scumbag. People that do these things are scumbags. They should not be surprised when people get angry at them. As I said, it's very serious when people have these things actually happen to them, and we've got idiots like Umisho who just make things up. It makes it very difficult for these people to come forward and be heard, because a lot of people just don't want to hear it. They immediately lean to, oh, this person's making it up, which is not good, you know. It does kind of suck that we can't just sit and have conversations with people. We always have to raise eyebrows, and I don't think it's wrong to question people when you've got one side of the story, but it's not good to make things up that are so serious when we know that there's a lot of guys and there's a lot of women that deal with these things. I think the tournament organizers and whoever allowed this to happen need to speak on why they allowed it to happen. I would like to hear a reason, because if the reason is not because of the individual's identity, and that's not the protection that they're afforded because of the scene that they're in and the people they're around, and I want to know what the other reason is, because I'm happy to be proven wrong. I've said on this channel multiple times, I don't mind being wrong. But from somebody on the outside looking in at that particular scene, that's what it looks like. Now again, I want to reiterate for the 3rd or 4th time, this is not an attack on trans people by any stretch of the imagination. And like I said, I saw a lot of trans people saying, we don't fuck with this. Because at the end of the day, whether you're trans or not, making allegations against somebody is a universal no when you're lying, right? If you make allegations against somebody of that nature and they're made up, we should all be able to agree that individual is a scumbag. You shouldn't be afraid to say it, which I know a lot of people are because of how the individual identifies. That's all I really want to say about that. It's just more hypocrisy in this scene. A lot of people that are always talking about this holier than thou nonsense, and we all know a lot of these people don't stand on business. We know that. We know, but there's been people before in this scene that have gotten away with things they shouldn't have gotten away with. They'll pick and choose when they want to show their angel wings, or when they actually want to sprinkle that fairy dust everywhere and let everyone know that they're the good guy and these are the bad guys. We need to get them out of there. But when this sort of thing happens, radio silence. And it's not like people in the FGC haven't seen from all scenes. The tweet has 2 million views, okay? The FGC is not that big. People have seen it. And your regular offenders who come out and tweet, nothing.